Live from the land that freedom forgot, the most listened to Second Amendment broadcast in the nation.
So Winston's a guest on the show today. Hopefully he'll come on the screen. Let's try a little bone for him. Win-win. Oh. Let's see what happens.
I guess he's in his bed.
Okay, now he's heading for his... Oh, got it. So he's bringing it back over to... Oh, now he's going to play with it for a while. That's good. So, the things I do for you people in the Second Amendment. This week, I had a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, and I got a clean bill of health.
That Buick up here?
Nope, but the Dr. Manzi gave me a prescription that says my head is not in my arse and I'm not full of poop.
All right, well, we should post that on the wall.
That worked out really well. I do have some disheartening news. I'm gonna.
You're being kind.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn a negative into a positive, but. Dear Mr. Calandro, as an NRA member whose name was recommended by the NRA Nominating Committee for consideration for the election in January Board of Directors, I congratulate you, but I am sorry to inform you that you were not nominated. All persons recommended by the membership...
congratulate you that you're not nominated.
Yeah. They deliberated over 176 recommendations for 59 individuals. 56 were life members and were eligible, so I was one of the 56. And they picked 33.
Wait a minute. 56 were
eligible. You have to be a life member. 176 people were recommended. 59 people were recommended.
The guy from Washington, D.C. who doesn't own a gun, he's a life member?
He must be a life member now. That would be, I forgot his name, but
that's buy him a life membership ahead of this?
That's Mark Robinson, who doesn't even own a gun, and he got nominated. Right. But anyway, 56 were life members and therefore eligible for consideration. Many highly qualified individuals had to be passed over this year, and the fact that you were not nominated at this time does not in any way reflect your qualifications.
No, not your qualifications.
I bleed the NRA. I was given Second Amendment Activist Center of the Year this year, our Trainer of Distinction of the Year award this year, and numerous other awards.
You train more people in the United States
than the Boy Scouts. So, but anyway, so to turn a negative into a positive, I'm still continue to run on petition. So I'm going to need your help. Everybody, it's Calandro for NRA is the webpage, and there's petitions. I have until the end of September for people to sign these petitions. I'm bringing them with me to NRA board meetings next week. I'm bringing them with me to Carry Guard in Richmond, Virginia the week after. I'm bringing them to SafeCon September 22nd. I need a minimum of 631. You must be a life member or a member for 5 years or more. So I'm going to run on petition, which means I'm not going to be one of the 33 that was nominated by the nomination committee by the NRA. So my name is kind of going to be hidden in the January magazine or ballot that you get in the mail.
Usually on the last page, past the Brunel's ad.
But you know what? I'm still going to try it. I was a few thousand votes short 5 years ago. I'm trying to run on petition only without the NRA nominating me. The NRA did nominate 33 people for 25 open seats. So there's 8 people that the nomination committee is not going to win. A lot of them were incumbents, and some of them were good people, by the way, some of them who I know very well. But I'm going to try to do it on my own, like I've done for the past 57 years. That's it for me. So if you could go on my website, calandrofornra.com, there's a link right at my name, a rectangle. It says click here for petition. You can print it out. You can fill it out. You can mail it back to me at the range, or you can give it to me at Board of Directors or at Carry Guard, or you can give it to me at SafeCon. Patty's going to be working the booth at SafeCon with Jimmy, so she's going to be collecting signatures as well. I want way more than 631 because a lot of people sign it. They're really not voting members. So I want to have suspenders and a belt because I don't want this to be a disqualifier where they say they didn't get enough petitions and then I'm not going to be on the ballot at all in January. Depending on this works out, I'm going to decide whether I'm going to do this again, because it's not only a monumental task on my end, but for asking all of our listeners and supporters of Gun for Hire. They're out like Cliff Toy and Gary Allison. They're out there getting petitions for me and asking people and begging, borrowing, and stealing. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. So I don't know if it's, in the end, it's going to be worth it to try it again. So I think this is going to be, this might be my last hurrah. Unless I get a different feel or vibe when I go down to board meetings. next week. But I thought, with all the awards coming, recognition, I hosted 2 Carry Guard classes here. I was asked to teach at Carry Guard in Richmond. I'm teaching 3 days in a row. Jimmy's teaching 3 days in a row. Bob Prowse 3 days in a row. Charlie 3 days in a row. So we're going to have a strong presence down there. I thought in my heart of hearts I had more juice than maybe some people that had one video. We Are the People video and don't even own guns yet, and they're nominated for the board.
Apparently not.
So I guess I need a video to go viral or something, and then we can take it from there. But I am in a state that is fighting hard, and I'm trying to help and make a point. And I think suspenders and a belt, or the anvil and the hammer between Scott Bach and I, it could be a good pairing for us battleground states. But I'm going to do it on my own. So let me just plug one more time. So it's Calandro for NRA. You can print these out on the website too. CalandroForNRA.com. The petitions are also on the website, and they get mailed back to the range. You can email me, Anthony at GunForHire.com, and I will do whatever I can to make you people proud if I do end up running by petition and getting on. This is a very tough year. This is the Ted Nugent year, and there's a couple other big names there that they're not active board members, but they have the name recognition. Like Carl Malone. Then you have Oliver North, who's very active. So it's going to be a little harder for me to maybe get on, but that's not going to discourage me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to maybe get on the board. We'll see what happens.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hit me.
I suggest if you're a member of a gun club that you go to CalandroForNRA.com and you print out a copy of the flyer and a copy of the petition and post it in a prominent place at your gun club. And let everybody, especially you guys in New Jersey, if you want representation on the board, I think we need to take a proactive role and put people on the board that actually know where the state of New Jersey is. We have one, Scott Bach, but we need more.
I'm doing a photo for posting on Saturday or Sunday with the radio show, by the way. So you YouTubers that are watching this, the show is available on YouTube as well. So hold on.
That's good for radio.
We'll see what happens. Oh, by the way, today's knife is a Brian tie that I won on Knife Rights.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
a Damascus blade knife, carbon fiber.
For those of you on radio who are not watching on YouTube,
It's a beautiful knife. And today's cigar is a Liga Privada number 9 by Drew Estate. So I feel like Vanna White. For you people out there that I'm plugging your products, send me free stuff.
And you look like Vanna White too, I must say.
Send me free stuff.
Yes, and we'll plug it.
Yeah, send me lots of free stuff, especially expensive free stuff.
Expensive free stuff is
Like,
good. It works.
we could fit a Bentley in the studio.
We could.
Yeah.
We could probably pull one.
We could fit a Bentley in the studio, and
Or a
I'll
Tesla,
definitely plug it.
Something like that. Whatever. If you want.
So
Eco-friendly.
Tuesday when I got the letter from the secretary of the NRA, it was quite disheartening. I wrote up a huge bio. I included about 80 pages of attachments of awards and public speaking and testifying and everything else. So I thought I had what it took. But obviously I didn't this go around. So I was one of the 20 tree that was knocked out of the apple cart. But
As we say in the New York metropolitan area, the fix was in.
yeah, well, I'm still on 3 committees. I'm teaching at Carry Guard. We host Carry Guard classes here. So I bleed the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I bleed NRA. So I'm not going to let it discourage me. What I'm going to do is double down at my efforts to work harder to get on the board. And all of you people out there should be sharing this show, should be sharing the link, should be sharing the YouTube videos and everything about this, so that we can get the word out, so we can get a grassroots effort in, and maybe get me a seat on the board, and I will see what I can do. See, I don't want to be a negative Nelly, because then I can end up on the board and I can end up with no committee appointments. I can end up in a position where, I'm just languishing there. Yeah, and I don't want that either. So I want to continue in my heart of hearts to be a team player, because there's been other people who've tried to get on the board as dissidents, And that doesn't work
No,
out,
it
because
doesn't.
then you won't get any committee appointments.
Right.
And then I'll just be there brooding every day.
Politics is politics is politics.
Correct. So, Calandro for NRA, please.
Okay, Rob.
Where's Winston?
Hanging out, chewing his
Oh.
chewing his thing.
Tom and Jeannie Titansky are here right now. They came in to see me, but they came in to sign my petition, but they're not here. Right? I'm not here. I can't. I'm in the radio studio. I can't do it. So, sorry.
Okay, coming out of break. And stand by.
What?
I'm pointing at you.
I know, but I have to answer a message from somebody. So this segment is brought to you by Medallion Chiropractic. Dr. Henry Medallion. I hope that's in focus. I hope it is. Dr. Henry Medallion is on Valley Road in Wayne, New Jersey, about 2 miles from the range. And Medallion Chiropractic, his website is Madalian, medallionchiropractic.com. If you live within 30 miles of Wayne, New Jersey, you should go to him for consultation. He's a shooter, family's all members, all his boys. And if you're further than 30 miles away, refer friends and family. Maybe go and give them a 5-star review on, Yelp and Google and WebMD or whatever else might be out there. But he has all of this physical therapy stuff and full body certified in this active release technique. And he's very good at what he does. And he's a two-way supporter, and we always want to support those who support us. So please check out medallionchiropractic.com. The next thing I want to talk about is SafeCon. SafeCon is coming up. It's September 22nd from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Cumberland County College in Vineland, New Jersey. And the website is njsafecon.net, njsafecon.net. Now, John Willard's running this. Anybody that wants to support it, anyone that wants to get a booth or send a donation or whatever, please do. We would love to see you there. I will be there the whole day. I don't even know if I'm speaking or anything. No one told me yet. But Patty and Jimmy will be working the booth. Excuse me. Patty and Jimmy will be working the booth the whole day, and the Calandro for NRA petitions will be there as well. Also, if you haven't been watching my rants, Ant's Rants are on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and soon we're going to have a YouTube page of just my rants as well. If you want me to rant about something, just email Anthony@GunForHire.com. If you want to discuss something for the radio, we get plenty of emails.
Like you need any push.
Look at Tom Titansky Tom Titansky is there. Check out Tom and Jean Titansky. They stopped by to see us. He's looking good. He's wearing the old Gun for Hire 8-ball shirt. Can you believe this? I haven't seen that shirt in forever.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't seen that shirt
in forever.
That's a...
And Winston's still doing his thing. Tom had diabetes.
What is that, maybe 10 years old?
It's at least 10 years old. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shirts. So you can check me out on all of those avenues as well. Don't forget the Cheeseman case, GoFundMe.com/restore-carry-NJ. John Gillard was on last week and talked about it. So let's talk about New Jersey real quick. First of all, Dick's Sporting Goods, their profits have plummeted. And they're blaming it on their lack of hunting equipment instead of blaming it that their CEO decided not to sell black rifles.
No, their lack of the fact that Kohl's is now selling Under Armour. So that's what they're blaming. They sell that much Under Armour.
It couldn't happen to a nicer bunch,
absolutely.
to be honest with you, because F them,
right.
But Dick's took a huge hit.
Good.
And they're gonna. This is what happens when people want to become activists, and instead just mind your business. All right, it's better to just mind your business and go about your job. And what did it do? Right, it hurt investors and it hurt employees. So the rank and file people who are not getting political, right, they're losing their jobs. They just want to go to work every day and do their jobs. They're going to lose their jobs because the CEO decides he wants to have his own, identity politics conscience.
Right.
Which is a bunch of crap. okay? So it couldn't happen to a better organization. Guess what? It just helps out Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops.
That's right.
Who are still focusing on, you're very popular today.
I am.
All right, who are still focusing on taking care of the law-abiding gun owners. That's what we want. Law-abiding gun owners are being taken care of. So Dick's is out. And if you shouldn't pay, I see a lot of customers come in with Dick's bags, and I give them crap, to be honest with you. I tell them, why are you patronizing Dick's? I guess Winston's still in the camera. It looks like he is. He's been grooming the entire time for the show.
Yeah, I know. He's got to look his best on.
He's got to hear it. So, of course, right away, the Jacksonville, Florida shooting that happened at this Madden NFL thing, I guess. These people play this video game football, and they have these conferences. So this kid, you ready? He's from Maryland,
right?
Which Maryland has gun laws almost equivalent to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So right away, the anti-gunners attacked Florida's lax gun laws for the shooting, because it never ends.
In Maryland, don't you have to take a qualification?
Yes.
To purchase.
Yes.
A handgun.
Yes. So here's the deal. To recap it, he was twice institutionalized for mental illness and was on antipsychotic drugs.
Nothing to see here.
Nope. His parents worried for a long time about his mental state.
No problem.
He legally purchased 2 handguns in his home state of Maryland, which has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation, including universal background checks, magazine capacity restrictions, registration requires handgun qualification license to buy a gun, is a may-issue state wherein applicants have to substantiate good reason to conceal carry. It's like New Jersey. It's almost impossible.
Right.
Okay? Maryland and Florida do not have reciprocity, meaning that the murderer illegally brought his gun to Florida with him. Okay? And the final fact is, the murders were carried out in a gun-free zone that gamers had little to no security at. But it's the NRA's fault.
So let me just recap this. So an illegal act was done by the murderer? The murderer
illegal
illegally
act.
brought that firearm down there before to commit a murder?
Yes.
You think at least he would have paid attention to the laws, and especially the reciprocity law that didn't allow him to have that gun in the state of Florida?
Correct.
And, at least pay attention to that. If you're going to commit a murder, you might as well do it properly.
And this was reported by the AP and everything else, but right away the politicians and the blood dancers, hold on. The politicians and the blood dancers all blamed the NRA. And everybody blamed Florida for their lax gun laws, okay? But
it's already canned. It's a canned response. It's just like CNN. I can't even look at that thing. And they have the damn television on at the gym. I had to actually change what treadmill I use because I don't want to look at CNN.
I'll tell you what, this is, see, John Willett and I, we'd argue about how video games poison young minds, but this is football. Okay, but this kid tried to be a champ, But a psychologist once warned family court...
Is that all they had at this video game?
Was Madden. Madden football.
That was it?
Yeah. A psychologist warned family court that David Katz might become violent. Katz could lash out and become so angry that he would hit and hurt his mother.
So how did he buy guns? Right, exactly.
Right.
How did he buy a gun?
Here we go again. Another failure in the system that we, the people, the law-abiding citizens, have to deal with.
Right.
Okay?
The system that they created to prevent this, which we know that government is so good at solving problems.
He was in 2 different mental facilities. One for 12 days and once for 13 days.
How the hell did this guy get a gun? Especially in Maryland. You're so great in Maryland with the laws.
His mother would confiscate his gaming equipment because he would stay up all night, so he beat her up. Okay, and he refused to go to school. He would curl up in a ball and refuse to go to school, okay? Listen, I don't know what Risperdal is, but it's an antipsychotic medication. That's one of the drugs he was on. I don't even know what that is. But again, we're going to blame the guns. Here's system fails from top to bottom.
Yet again.
Systems fail, okay? And right away, let's blame the guns. Let's blame the NRA, all right? I've had it.
Not the gun-free zones, not...
You want to talk about extortion. David Hager He's asking Smith & Wesson for $5 million bribery charge, or they're going to picket outside their headquarters. He wants $5 million for anti-gun initiatives.
Knock yourself out, kid. Go ahead and
Yes.
take it.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you
It's
imagine? This is horrible, horrible,
Now, why
horrible.
Smith and Wesson?
Because that's probably the only gun manufacturer he knows. Let's go after Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, there's two of them. Idiot.
So, by the way, you want to talk about living in a bizarro world?
Oh, this is horrible.
That New Mexico terrorist training camp,
Unbelievable.
okay? All charges were dropped against the New Mexico terror training camp suspects.
Not only did the dipshit, can you say dipshit?
I can.
Not only but did the dipshit judge let these people out on a signature bail,
Yep.
but now we drop the charges. You know, it's funny too, because I was just out on the West Coast, and there was a local story about somebody who was basically littering and got a $300,000 fine and could face, because he was a multiple litterer, I don't know, a serial litterer, and in California had a $300,000 fine imposed and could go to jail and face felony charges for littering.
Wow.
And here, on a signature bail, we let people out of jail.
So the charges were dropped, okay, against the three of the 5 defendants, ruling that authorities violated the state's 10-day rule. Child abuse charges against Lucas Morton, Saban Wahaji, and Haraj Wahaji were dropped because prosecutors missed the 10-day limit for an evidentiary hearing to establish probable cause, okay? During a separate hearing, the Judge Jeff McElroy, separately dismissed some of the charges against fellow defendants, all right? Separately, even though the 10-day rule wasn't in effect there. So
these are people who were running a terrorist training camp.
there was a dead kid on the property.
Yes, and they killed their child. They allowed their child to die.
Yes.
Out of absolute neglect, and they just buried them. Like most
But
people.
here you hear me talk all the time about start judging the judges, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. McElroy should have these people move in his neighborhood.
So, how does the prosecutor
right.
allow to miss the 10-day
Right.
grace period or duration time limit and not have any ramifications?
Good enough for government work.
Oh well, we missed the
Yeah,
10-day
well,
thing,
yeah,
and
just-
now we'll move on.
And we don't want to look like we're prosecuting, a particular, group of people.
Oh, because we're Islamophobic, we're thisophobic, we're thatophobic. Now, if it was white males in a training camp, it would be a different story, right?
So if they had a Trump banner out there, it's the only way you're going to do it.
So-
is to be able to put up like a Trump flag.
So now, I talk all the time about start judging the judges, right? These 2 judges, first the female that released them,
Right.
okay, by a signature, and now Judge McElroy, they should be held accountable.
Absolutely, for
if
everything that happens.
Anything
right?
that happens from
absolutely.
this point
but
on.
They won't, and they know it.
Correct.
And that's what
they
the
don't care.
problem is.
They don't care.
That's what
So
the
it's
damn
all on
problem
us.
Right.
So we die. And it's funny because, okay, well, I guess it's out, right? I'm out.
Well, you'll be out in 5 seconds.
I'm out now.
You're out now?
I'm out now. I
yet.
feel like being out.
We have 5 seconds.
Call
We
me
have to fill
Rapunzel.
air. There's so much dead air in this show.
Call me
Just
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Let down your hair.
Let down my
If you don't
hair.
have any hair. Okay, Rob.
So, while we're on break for YouTube, Lipstick Bodyguard is a good sponsor of us. It's available online, and it's also available at Gun for Hire on our web store, and you can come into the range and buy it as well. It looks like a lipstick. It's very small. It's very strong and potent. Most people, when they're hit with it, will need first aid afterwards, which is a beautiful thing. And I highly recommend this. Again, Patty's daughters have gotten this through TSA security on accident because it looks like lipstick. It doesn't say mace or OC
Just like they
spray all
forgot.
over it, but it's not a bad thing to have in your purse or pocket. Again, learn how to use it. Be deployed. Have it in your support hand. If your keys are in your strong hand, your thumb should be on the top of the trigger and ready to rock and roll. Okay. The only thing is keep it away from direct sunlight. You don't want it to overheat, I guess. But this is good stuff, and I highly recommend it. Did I do good, Sandy?
And we're coming back. You did. That was very nice. Okay, 5 seconds.
I'm not ready.
Get ready. And stand by.
This segment is brought to you by Gun Sitters, gunsitters.com on Route 10 East in Whippany, New Jersey.
We couldn't do any better than a photocopy of it.
This is what I'm doing. Okay, this is what I got right now. Gunsitters.com and their military division, Weapons Guard. If you need to temporarily store firearms, you're going through a divorce, domestic, got kids in the house, get in trouble with the law or anything else like that, lipstickbodyguard.com and gunsitters.com.
Nothing but the highest.
This is horrible, isn't it? Wow.
It's terrible.
Gunsitters.com. Ask for Eric or Vince, and they'll take care of you. Listen, we've saved a lot of people long-term trouble, and we've saved a lot of people jail time with using Gun Sitters. So
for sure.
Please check them out. They're also in Salisbury, Maryland, Easton, Pennsylvania, and Hawaii, I think, is coming up soon. And they're working on a Las Vegas.
Sorry, people.
So I did a rant last week. I did a rant last week that got a lot of coverage, and I said, why are rich socialists so repulsive? Okay?
That's a good question.
Because they are immune from the consequences of their own ideology.
Yes, they are.
Okay?
You mean like the 4.5-cent gas tax that we just got jammed up our behind?
Another
one.
And you know what happens with taxes, with higher taxes? When you raise taxes up, consumption goes down, so revenue goes down, so they have to raise taxes again.
Taxes, but when Benjamin Franklin first imparted taxes, most of Benjamin Franklin's ideas were to control behavior.
Like a sin tax.
Yeah, pretty much. Franklin always believed, remember, early to bed, early to rise type of thing.
Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Right. From poor Richard.
Poor Richard's Almanac.
Yeah.
I'm a schmuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, Franklin originally wanted to tax candle wax because he believed that you shouldn't levy heavy taxes against candle wax because you should be sleeping and getting up during the day. You shouldn't have candles inside your house. The more candles you have, the lazier you are. So get to bed early, sleep good, and then get up when the sun comes up. So
here's an example, ladies and gentlemen. This cigar in Pennsylvania is $6. This cigar in New Jersey is $11.
Come on, are you serious?
$11. I buy these cigars from Atlantic Cigar in Pennsylvania. If I spend over $75, it's free shipping. It's shipped to my house the next day, UPS ground.
If I'm owning a cigar store in New Jersey, I'm pissed.
Right. So, and they want to increase taxes on tobacco products. It's in Murphy's plan. So the more you raise taxes, the lower the consumption, the lower the revenue, so you have to raise taxes again. It's a vicious circle. So the new 4.5-cent tax they're touting on the gas in New Jersey is only going to cost the average family $300 a year. Only $300 a year. Okay, that's 3 months of cable TV.
Yeah, Murphy spends that in
half a second.
Yeah, exactly.
A half a second.
He doesn't even understand what $300 is.
He doesn't.
The average Joe, the average guy who's got or gal who's trying to put their kids through school, raise their kids, feed their kids, pay the exorbitant heat bills that we have here.
Correct.
That
he doesn't care. Right. So get ready for it. More and more taxes, and it's coming. So
well, you voted for it.
Yes. People keep asking me what's going on in New Jersey with the mag ban and the carry law, and ANJRPC sent an update out. And he wrote, the mag ban case, the U.S. District Court held evidentiary hearings over 3 days during the week of August 13th. And the court heard testimony from 3 of the state's witnesses and then finished up the week hearing testimony from our expert witnesses, okay? And the state witnesses offered various opinions on the nature and use of magazines with a capacity of greater than 10 rounds. Cross-examination of the state's witnesses was thorough and crisp, and the judge was engaged and attentive, okay? We also had Professor Gary Kleck there on our side.
Oh, really?
Yes. He testified that depriving law-abiding gun owners of standard capacity magazines over 10 rounds will not only will not reduce mass shootings, but will also make lawful defense more difficult. He also addressed the opinions of the state's witnesses, identifying flaws in their data and reasoning. Okay? Hold on a second. I got to change the Winston cam. Okay, go to sleep, Win. The parties are scheduled to submit closing briefs on the injunction motion on September 4th, followed by an oral argument on phone September 6th. So we're looking around mid-September. But remember, the deadline is December for 10-round magazines, unless we get the injunction before that, all right? Now, the NRA right to carry lawsuit challenging New Jersey's carry law. This is moving alongside with the Cheeseman-Gillard case, by the way, which is self-funded. That's why I keep pushing their GoFundMe. This ANJRPC case is ANJRPC and NRA funded, as well as the mag ban. That's why you should donate to CNJFO, ANJRPC, NRA, and send my guys Mark Cheeseman and John Gillard a couple of bucks on their GoFundMe page. Right. Everybody out there, get off your asses. If you're not getting petition signatures for me, you should be donating to those 4 organizations, okay? So the lawsuit, in July, they asked the Third Circuit panel assigned to the case to rule on the appeal summarily without briefing or argument, again on the grounds that the panel is already bound by the decision in Drake. We argued that Drake was wrongly decided, but the Third Circuit panel does not have authority to change the ruling. Instead, only to the full complement of all Third Circuit judges sitting together, known as en banc. Or the U.S. Supreme Court can override Drake, all right? Whatever happens, the case will inevitably work its way toward possible consideration in the U.S. Supreme Court. Both the magazine ban case and the right to carry challenge were filed with the assistance of the NRA. ANJRPC thanks the NRA for its incredible support, which made both lawsuits possible, okay? Also, CNJFO wrote a check, I believe it was $5,000 they raised through their members, and they gave it to the ANJRPC to help fund these cases. Wow. And Rosie's going to be at NRA with me next week. He's getting an award as well. We're going to be there the same day. I didn't get nominated for the board, but I'm getting a shiny thing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It's kind of the same, right?
Yeah. So, but anyway, bravo to everybody involved. Bravo to Cheeseman and Gillard and J Factor. And J Factor liked my saying that I said he always looks angry, and that's why he's always angry, because this state sucks. And he's not a lawyer, but he plays one at the Football Factory gym. But he also liked my quote that we're looking for a chink in the armor. Yeah. And that's why we have the ANJRPC case. That's why we have the Gillard case. The NRA is funding 3 other cases in different federal districts that's working their way through the courts, you know. And eventually they're going to get there. And again, Scott Bach has said for years that New Jersey will get right to carry federally, and they will go down kicking and screaming all the way. And it's going to happen. Yeah. They have been, you know, they're so busy taking our rights away, they don't realize that they can only bend a tree so far before it breaks.
Right. And I think, you know, one of the things that we learned when we had Loretta Weinberg on was the fact that this is not their only thing. And that's what everybody on our side has to understand. This is their legislators have to deal with this crap from 100 different angles, right? Not just banning firearms. They're trying to ban you putting up a tool shed in your backyard. Then they're trying to ban, tax your water, tax your air, tax all that other stuff. And they're very busy with all those other things. We have one focus and one focus only. That's why Anthony says all the time, I am a one issue voter.
Yep, that's all I care about.
That's it.
I'm laser focused on the Second Amendment.
And we have to also, even if it's not a big issue with us, where we have other things that we care about, we have to spend that time on the Second Amendment if you do care. And if you do care, you have to become an activist now. You really do.
Yes.
We've
not an armchair internet activist.
No, none of that nonsense.
Write a few checks and start writing letters.
Right, and get off your behind and show up and do things and do whatever you can, because it's going to be taken away from us, and we have allowed it. And they've kept us down for so long. Like Anthony says, you can only bend the tree so far before it snaps.
It either snaps back or it breaks. In our case, it's going to break.
Yeah.
Okay? They've been so hard on us in these battleground states that the Supreme Court's not going to tolerate it forever. Right. It's not going to happen. With Kavanaugh hopefully getting on in the next 2 months, and then maybe somebody else in a year or two, there is going to be backlash. And I hope Thomas is the key factor in all of this before he puts in his retirement papers.
Yeah.
I'd love to see one or two Second Amendment cases hit the Supremes with Thomas writing for the majority.
Right.
And I'd like to see them go through, and that would make my day. Listen, we're not going to get it in New Jersey. New Jersey's going to stay blue forever. Now, a lot of people are asking me about Bob Hugin, Hugin. He's running against Pumpkinhead Menendez, and he's only 6 points behind him, and they're asking what his stance is on guns. I heard inside track he's staying away from the gun thing right now because he doesn't want to create that polarity. But I can tell you this. A moderate Republican, it's been 4 decades since we've had a Republican in the U.S. Senate, by the way. A moderate Republican will be better than Pumpkinhead Menendez.
If they're just running Pumpkinhead, they're not.
It's Pumpkinhead, yes.
That's it.
They're spending a ton of dough on him because he's so tarnished in the primaries. He almost lost the primary from an unknown woman who just wrote her name on the ballot from Union City. So Bob Hugin, or Hugin, 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 I'll be voting for him because we could take back another Senate seat, which will help us in confirmations for judges and lower court judges as well. But maybe he'll come out moderate on the gun issue once he's in. But do not make this election a gun issue. Eric Rebels from Gun Sitters used to say that all the time. Let's make it a tax issue.
Right.
Overtaxed issue, socialism issue, or whatever. Let's stay away from the gun issue. It's too polarizing, and the media goes on a feeding frenzy with that.
Of course, because they love it.
Correct. If we could get Pumpkinhead out, then it's going to be him and the Closet Cape Crusader.
Yes.
Cory Booker,
right.
So it would help us in the balance. So
closeted Cape Crusader.
The closet Cape Crusader. So he's only 6 points behind Menendez, and Menendez is outspending him. Now, Bob Hugin is a pharmaceutical exec worth hundreds of millions. He already lent the campaign $15 million. His attack ads are great going after Menendez with the trips, with Melgin and everything else. So we stand a good chance. So
I get away from the pedophilia, though.
Right, so far.
Yeah, so far.
You never know how bad it's going to get. Winston turned his back to the camera. He's so antisocial.
It's unbelievable. He's like you.
Yes.
You can tell he's your dog.
So I deal with people all day. People that are asking me, all the emails and messages I get about Bob Hugin, let it be. Let's put our weight behind him. Okay? Let's support him.
Issue with what's her name? Running for the lieutenant governor who...
Godano.
Right.
Yeah.
You had this issue, and now you wound up with, look at what you got.
Yeah, we have Murphy. So leave the gun issue alone. Let's get Menendez out. Let's send a message to the Democratic Party. Let's send a message to the machine, all right? And Cory Booker, he's going to run. He's one of like 65 socialists that are going to run for president.
Yeah,
so let him focus on that.
Okay,
I got to take a quick picture of Winston.
You can do that now that we're in the break.
We're on a break? We're on a break?
Yeah, we're on our last break.
Oh, no. I'm not ready for this. So next week I'm going to be calling in, but I'm going to take a camera with me. And I'm going to YouTube myself. And so the YouTube will go up a day.
I can't wait to see that.
I don't know where I'm going to do it. I might do it. No, you want a good reception, so I'll do it from inside.
Yeah. I mean, you could if we've got, as long as we've got good reception, we don't really care.
Bummer. A Wi-Fi signal, something?
Yeah, just need a good solid Wi-Fi signal.
This is going to be the sticker. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
And stand by.
So another one of our sponsors is County Line Customs, which is Carlos, is on Route 10 in East Hanover, across the street from the Best Buy. It was County Line Firearms. Now it's County Line Customs. They have great inventory. Carlos is a big supporter of the range, so maybe you should check him out. Another black and white copy, there's NJ SafeCon, September 22nd. We will have a booth. John Willett and his wife Rachel are breaking their backs to get this going. I recommend anybody that wants to show and tell and donate and support anything you can.
And it's a great show. I mean, it's a good time.
I have great time.
Now?
This is the number 4.
This is number 4.
Yes.
And it's a great time just to get together with everybody, and be able to BS back and forth a little bit about stuff. Just to kick back, hang out, learn a little something, and meet people who are like-minded.
Correct.
In the state of New Jersey, which is a very rare opportunity.
All right, sorry, I had to do text. So, All right. We talked about training. Remember last week we talked about Chad Hunt sent that in where the guy ripped a hoodie right off of him as he was going to the house. Right. They caught him. He's been arrested 15 bajillion times.
Yeah, that's a surprise, huh?
You know, he's been arrested, and he'll be out there robbing again. And, you know, Chad, we had a lot of discussion during the show and after the show about learning, and something I want you all to think about is October 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, Masad Ayub is going to be here. And he's going to be teaching his MAG 20 and MAG 40 course, which is the judicious use of self-defense. I'm going to tell you something right now. Anybody that owns a gun, it's a prerequisite they should take Masad Ayub's class. And, you know, he's not getting any younger, and he's one of the old Colonel Cooper, Farnham crew, which those guys, the old school guys, are almost over, where their classes tend to be more theory than shooting. More legal than shooting. So I highly recommend everybody, you know, come and take the Masad Ayub class. I'll be here all 4 days when he's doing it. Anybody that owns a gun really should take the MAG 40 class. Now, you want to talk about apathy? Gary Allison of Beacon Brass has trying to get petitions for me, right? I started collecting the petitions from 21 gun shops and ranges that I delivered to 6 weeks ago. I mean, he broke his ass, all right? I have collected from 3 so far and have 2 signatures.
Oh my
okay? Every one of them had to go into the back room and find the clipboard. What the F is wrong with these people? I've heard, I'm not signing anything and I don't know this guy. FUDs, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I included at least 5 sheets with your bio on with each clipboard. In the next week or 2, I will collect the rest. I know Bob's Bob's Little Sport Shop in Vineland has at least 2 full pages. Bob Viden has been very proactive in getting people to sign. Bob is a past board member of the NRA. He was on the board for about 20 years.
Yep.
And thank you, Bob, from Bob's Little Sport Shop. So please support them in Beacon Brass. He said that, let me apologize for those slackers in South Jersey. It ain't just South Jersey, Gary.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Gary.
When Murphy's militia comes banging on their doors to confiscate their mags, pistols, rifles, and shotguns, maybe then they will pull their heads out of their collected arses.
But it's too late.
Yes. You know, he says, you know, the old saying, those with their head firmly planted in their arse have a shitty outlook on life. Regards, Gary Allison. Gary, I can't thank you enough. I hear it all the time. There's other places that have my petitions, but 21 gun shops and ranges. He got a whopping 2 signatures from the first 3 places that he went to. Nobody wants to sign. Nobody knows the guy. I live in New Jersey. I represent a battleground state. Since 1992, I live, eat, breathe, and poop the Second Amendment. Right. They don't know me. You want to talk about FUDs? These are the same people that come into my range and say to me, when did the MAG ban pass? What's the rules on that? How did this happen? Rah, 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 rah.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm like,
the same people.
I'm like,
same people.
Where have you been?
Right.
Where have you been? It's not just FUDs. It's not just FUDs. It's everybody out there. Again, I said it the other day, there's about 200 of us that do the heavy lifting. There's about
over again.
2,000 that do the heavy whining and moaning.
Right.
And then the other million don't know shit that what's going on.
They don't know
and
what
they don't care.
No, they don't care.
Correct.
They think everything's going to be fine, and when the law passes, oh, well, I guess I just got to drop my magazines off somewhere.
Let me tell you something. Horrible, horrible situation.
And unfortunately, Aunt, Loretta Weinberg basically said it. They know that.
Of course they know it.
They know that. Every time they get a little bit of pushback, and all they have to do is wait that little period of time before everybody gets tired of complaining, and they just keep marching on along with their progressive agenda.
Okay, let's forget 1 million gun owners. Let's say 100,000 gun owners.
Right.
Where are you?
And you could totally change an election with 100,000.
Correct.
people.
Where are you? And there's the perfect example. 21 gun shops. The first 3 he went to, 6 weeks they had my petitions.
Right. Right.
Okay. Here's a guy from New Jersey, owns a gun range in New Jersey, wants to get on the NRA board, fight for your rights. I'm the executive vice president of the ANJRPC. I've been involved in this game for 25, 28 years. You don't know who I am. You don't want to vote for me because you don't know that guy. You don't trust. You don't this. You don't that.
They don't know you because they're not involved.
Correct.
They're not anywhere where they should be.
Correct.
If they were, they would know you. You're a fixture on the wall.
Correct. It's pretty horrible when you think about it, and you wonder why we're in the shape we're in. The same 200 show up. All right, we got 2,500 to show up for a rally. That was our pinnacle. Right there.
Right, 2,500 out of 1 million gun owners.
Let's say 100,000. Let's use 10%.
Right.
Let's say 90% are all home in a vegetative state with their mother making the meatloaf and they're playing Madden 3D or whatever it is. Let's take 90% out.
Right.
Where are you 100,000?
Do you realize what we could have done with 100,000 people in Trenton? We could have shut the city down. And if we shut the city down, yes. And if we shut that damn city down, and these idiots couldn't get to their cushy little offices, then there would have been an issue. Then
Correct.
they would have maybe noticed when their secretary couldn't get into work, when their legislative assistant couldn't get into work because we shut the city down. Maybe then,
yeah, but no, 2,500 people. We peaked at. We broke our asses. We got nothing but complaints about transportation, the location, the this, the that, and everything.
And all
right?
they did is lock us out and make us pee in the street.
Yes, and now people come to me and go, "When did this mag thing happen?" I've had to explain the mag ban law to 5,000 people.
Right.
All right. Do you know how infuriating that is?
Right.
Where were those 5,000 people that day? Oh, it's somebody else's problem. Let somebody else work. That's why the left beats us all the time. Because they have that pack mentality. And 5,000 of them to get together is nothing. Okay?
Right.
They'll get 50,000 people together. If our politicians saw 100,000 of us down in Trenton at the State House, they would think differently before they voted on something. But they see a paltry 2,500, they
don't even
laugh
see it.
at us.
They stick us in a corner somewhere where we won't bother anybody.
When we go testify, the Moms Against, the Bloombergs, the Everytowns, they outnumber us 7-1.
Busloads. So
7-1. And it's the same 30 people I see there all the time.
That's right, because they're paid to be there. They just show up. They have nothing to do. It's not like they're working.
So thank you all for your non-support for my board seat.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe everybody out there who's active, each one reach one, as Sandy says. I got to get off of this. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown, and my blood pressure was normal too.
Not anymore.
Let me talk a little bit about Masad Ayoub's Mag 40. It was a game changer for me. I took Mag 40 in 1990 in Bow, New Hampshire, with Masad Ayoub.
Oh.
And that changed my life. I went from being a static shooter to a self-defense shooter, and then I became a Second Amendment advocate in 1992 when I started Gun for Hire. So I refer to Masad Ayoub as my master. Mag 40 is an intensive 4-day, 40-hour immersion course in the rules of engagement for law-abiding private citizens. This course emphasizes legal issues, tactical issues, and most importantly, aftermath management. Topics will include interacting with suspects, witnesses, responding police officers, threat recognition and mindset, and the management of the social and physiological aftermath of having to use lethal force in defense of self or others. Also covered is preparing beforehand for legal repercussions and minimizing your exposure to them. Situations in the home, at the place of business, or on the street will be covered. Range work will include instruction in the use of defensive handgun under extreme stress, drawing from concealment, two-hand stance, shooting from cover, one-hand stance with either hand, speed reloading, and more are taught with an overall emphasis on fast, accurate shot placement. The course will culminate with a written exam covering the classroom topics and a police-style handgun qualification course. Okay, 4 days. Be prepared to shoot the first day. Masad Ayoub, October 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, I've been posting shooting videos on Gun for Hire platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and everything. And some people are critiquing me and saying, oh, you threw one shot, you this. I want to explain my shooting videos. They're 1 minute long because of Instagram. There is no second take. This is how I do my shots. Joe G, get a gun, I don't care what it is, a box of ammo and a target, and bring it to the 50-yard range. I walk in, I see what he's got. I describe the gun, I shoot a drill, we bring the target in, we show you what I did. I loaded an empty mag on a Glock, and I cleared through it. I threw a shot on my left hand shooting on another one. My group got spread open a little bit on a rapid fire, rapid reload shoot. There's no second takes. I'm just doing these little 1 minute one minute training videos just showing
No
what you can do in a static range. There's no editing, and I say that there's no second takes, just like there's no second takes in life. All right, and then people are saying, oh, you should shoot it at 25 yards. Your group should be the size of a nickel, and you should be moving and shooting. No. I own an indoor gun range. People have to stay within their port. They have to shoot in the environment. They can't rapid fire. We can do controlled pairs or whatever. I'm showing what people can do at my range. I am not a high-speed, low-drag mall ninja. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I'm not a Ranger. I'm not a Green Beret. I am a civilian maggot. Okay, I am showing people what they can do in a range on their own time and drills that they can practice. I walk in, they got a Desert Eagle for me. I walk in, he's got a Smith & Wesson 500. I walk in, he's got a Smith & Wesson 327, a Glock 19. The other day they hit me with a SIG, a double action, first pull, single action, all the pulls after that.
Shot that one.
I never shot it before. Okay, I'm just taking them, picking them up, talking. Joe gives me the high sign when we start, and then he gives me a 3-second warning when we're up to 57 seconds, and I cut it off. Not once have I deleted a video. Every one of them, right, wrong, or indifferent, I post it. My guys critique me one-hand shooting. I put my hand on my side, old school, because I'm a bullseye shooter.
Right,
all right.
Yeah.
So, and then I shot when I shot the MP5 clone, the Omega, my elbow was up. I'm an old school shooter. I'm not a tactical shooter. Right. I don't tuck my chicken wing in and advance forward. I understand it. Then I use strong hand and weak hand, and I get people like Paulie corrected me, said you should say strong hand and support hand. Okay, I used that nomenclature on the last video I shot yesterday. I haven't posted yet, so I'm learning too. I don't aspire to be the one who knows everything. I'm not a tactical shooter, but I can shoot my way out of a situation. Okay, if I was in a 7-Eleven with a 15-round magazine and 14 bad guys came in, right, I would have one bullet left in the chamber, and I'd be smoking a cigar outside waiting for the cops to come.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I can tell you that right now. So anyway.
No, well, actually, if you were in a 7-Eleven with a 15-round magazine,
I wouldn't be in New Jersey.
You wouldn't be in New Jersey.
So let's say I'm in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I'd still have my coffee in my hand, by the way. I might have to transition my coffee from one hand to the other hand to finish the job. Well, if I'm behind cover and I got to come out lefty first.
Could be, yeah.
We have a full slew of courses, urban pistol, rifle, shotgun at our academy. Jimmy has the 1,500-yard class coming up again in October. I'm going to that one. Bob Ramo, I'm looking for you from Shooter's Gauntlet. He lets us use his range. He's the man, him and his wife, Patty. Also, please do not forget Calandro for NRA, calandrofornra.com. Masad Ayub, I can't talk enough about the life-changing experience I had almost 30 years ago. Please sign up for MAG 40 October 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Winston's sleeping through the entire show, which is not a bad thing.
He's getting ready to do his job.
And not being nominated by Nomcom, I'm not going to turn it into a negative, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to continue fighting for myself and everybody else's rights in New Jersey and the other battleground states. And I'm hoping I win by petition, and I'm hoping you guys spread the word far and wide to everybody and get the vote for me.
And we can do that if everybody does do that. Go to calandrofornra.com. Print out a petition.
Bring them to gun shows.
Yes,
bring the flyers to the gun shows.
Absolutely.
You bring them to your gun range or your club. I don't care what state it is.
Right.
Give me signatures. Throw them in the mail. I'll reimburse you for the postage.
It doesn't have to be from New Jersey. It could be from any state. We've got signatures coming in from across the country.
People have been sending me signatures from all over the country. I've got Alaska and Hawaii, too.
It's very important because, especially you people in New Jersey, it's important that we actually have representation here in New Jersey, strong representation, like Anthony says. Hammer and anvil. We've already got the anvil. Now we need the hammer.
I'm the hammer time.
All right. Well, it looks like you've done it again. You wasted yet another perfectly good hour listening to Gun for Hire Radio. Gun for Hire Radio is a countertake media production. Music is broadcast and organized by Cosmo Music. It is time, Winston. All right, my
good
friend.
Luck.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week. Calandro for NRA.
Thank all you YouTubers. I'm hungry. Let's do this effort.